Alpine's Nina Gateman, and then big sponsors and partners of F1 Academy supporting the other drivers. And we always have a wild card this weekend. It's Chiara Batti for Weller Performance. Right, first flying lap, Abby, and it's Nina Gateman who's going to take us through Abbey Corner.
Yeah, so Nina actually put in a pretty decent time earlier on today, third fastest in practice with a 2:02.8. The circuit will definitely rub it in a little bit more now, and actually they're in season testing earlier this year. The quickest time that was delivered was a 2:01.5, so definitely a little bit of pace to find from practice from the drivers, and Nina Gateman is going to be the first one to see what these new conditions are like. As I mentioned, the track's going to be rubbing in a little bit more, a little less dust on the circuit as we see her enter into Brooklands. Using a bit of entry curve there just to get rotation into the car. Bit of a snap of oversteer mid-corner, but she's able to keep it all together.
Doing well so far. P6 in the championship for Nina Gateman. Alicia Parmovsky leads by 25 points ahead of Emma Felbermeyer. Then Megan Bruce in third. Peyton Westfield fourth. Matilda Pax in fifth place. After this, we go to Zandvoort Kota, where we'll have 3 races once again, like we did in Canada, and then they end racing in Las Vegas. And one aside, that was when they went there for the first time last season. And what a place to end the season. We always crown a new champion in F1 Academy, as well as the champions will move on with support from F1 Academy. Right, Nina Gateman through Maggis and Beckett's for the first time, looking clean and tidy so far.
Yeah, as we see a purple sector from Nina Gateman, and just behind her, Chiara Batti also has a purple sector in sector 1. So obviously early in the session now, but Batti is still trying to put the hammer down as she did in practice, and Nina Gateman is going to be coming through shortly into Vale, over the crest, heavy braking, get the front of the car dialed into the inside curve, little lift of throttle as you turn to get rotation, and then accelerate it down to the floor as hard as you can as she comes across the line with a 2:03.3.
Benchmark time set by Nina Gateman, and as you said though, Chiara Batti purple through the first sector, Lisa Billard purple through the second, being quickest overall. She was quick here on the in-season test. Let's see what she can do. The times are
ready for F1 sprint, I'm guessing.
David Johnson, who was up there in the top 10 earlier, P3, Clayton Westcott to P4, and now we go to Alicia Parmovsky into start.
Yeah, we see Matilda Pax up to second again, so continuing that good pace. That
I'll be live in Canada, about an hour for that.
Secured Aston Martin's first win in the F1 Academy season, overall actually, and as we see Parmovsky come around the final corner onto the main straight, currently 30th quickest, and jumps up to quickest overall by 0.3.
Unbeaten in qualifying this season, and you can see why.
Sounds good.
A superb job. That's a great view from the top of Abbey. You can really see who is hitting the curves through the first corner. Looking good for Nina Gateman, coming up to one of the favourite parts, I'm sure, for all drivers, Maggis and Beckett's.
Yeah, fantastic section of the race circuit. 3 corners in quick succession. It's a really brave section of circuit, carrying your minimum speed through as much as you can without compromising track position for that all-important chapel exit onto the hangar straight. And 2 tenths up almost at the moment. And at this point here, you'll be thinking, I've got to nail my braking point on the way into Stowe. And hard on the brakes, really late apex into here, focusing on carrying that entry speed, picking up the throttle and careful not to run too wide on the exit. There have been some track limit penalties in the practice session into there. As she comes into Vale, gets the front end tucked up on the curve, sails through the right of Club, and she'll shortly be coming over the line. 4th quickest at the moment. And where does it put her? Up into quickest overall by 0.2.
Yeah, Nina Gateman doing very well. The qualifying system for F1 Academy, it's just this one session, but important to note that the top 8 will reverse for the reverse grid race tomorrow. Right, Chiara Batti up to P2, the wildcard driver. Emma Felbermeyer for Audi has just gone 3rd, so Alicia Parmovsky now down to 4th, made that 5th as Lisa Billard for Gatorade goes 4th.
Yeah, lots of drivers starting to get their really good feel into the circuit now and starting to build on that progress they made in the practice session in the morning. Bruce at the moment has got a purple middle sector, I know speaking with a few of the drivers that they were struggling with the balance of the car in practice, particularly the Campos drivers who were struggling with real grip. So potentially some changes made to the setup there, and the drivers seem pretty happy with what the car's delivering at the moment.
What kind of changes would they be making? We'll answer that in just a second. Let's see Megan Bruce over the line first, P5. So what kind of changes will the teams be making, and how will that respond then to the drivers?
Yeah, potentially it could be stuff to do with tyre pressures. Obviously, the operating window in terms of temperature has been changing through the day as the track temp pops up as well. But just the balance of the car, it might be that the front end of the car is actually a bit too strong, so that's creating the oversteer and the snaps on the way into the corner. As we see fatigue there, keep it within the track limits. I mentioned earlier on actually the track limit situation. There were 32 track limit infringements in the practice session, so a lot of times deleted from drivers, and it's easy to do at turns like turn 9 of Cops and turn 15 of Stowe. So drivers have to play that in their mind as well and not take too much risk. As we see, Fatigue took it behind a nice toe on the run down to Stowe corner.
Yeah, this is a toe down here. She's quickest of anyone through the second sector, and she's going to come into the pit lane. Why do you think this decision has been made? Some people will find that very strange, but I guess they have a plan that they want to follow.
Yeah, so with the Academy, they actually get 3 brand new sets of tyres for the weekend. So free practice, they will have used the first set. Qualifying now, will have had the second set. Potentially everyone's boxing to put on the third set of tyres to try and get that extra step up on the lap time.
Absolutely that, and I'm sure it's a long lap, isn't it? So the procedure to go through warm-up will take long, and also taking fuel out of that car as well. So to keep going, I'm sure it's a plan for the drivers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're not going to do a handful of laps in a box and just sit around for 18 minutes. They'll be also having a chat with their engineer and potentially asking for a few changes here and there on setup on the car. Also coming in and just having a little refresh of your brain and thinking, right, okay, where is it that I need to extract the extra pace from? Where is it that I need to make sure that I'm not dropping a wheel off here in the track limits? And but yeah, I'm sure they'll be popping on a new set of tyres and going for a second fresh lap. Ride on board with Robertson.
There's track limits here, I think.
Yeah. And a jump over that serrated curve to boot. So just struggling with front end grip there. As we see, Alicia Pomorski struggling with rear end grip. Bit of rally crossing through turn 1.
Yeah, Megan Bruce is this track limits. Let's find out.
From no. Oh, that's what you get for streaming it on YouTube. Could have just gone F1 TV and it would have been fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are they struggling with through the first corner? No, the first corner, the old first corner.
Yeah. It could actually be, I know it's quite gusty out on the circuit at the moment, so it could actually be a bit of a gust of wind on entry that's just catching them all out, because actually that's a pretty carbon copy of what we've seen of other drivers on the circuit. So wind potentially playing a bit of a factor through here.
Yeah, so Gateman is ahead of Fatigue and Felbermeyer on the pit lane. So you might notice some drivers tumble down that timing tower on the left. Rachel Robertson being one of them. She has gone out there and done laps. It's just a case of the ones she did have been deleted. They are coming in still, so you might see some more changes to the order if those were the fastest laps that the drivers have set. Because looks like a countryman, Haas, is coming in. So we are at the half-time stage of the session. Looking good so far for Nina Gateman, who is leading the way ahead of Chiara Batty, Gemma Felbermeyer, then Lisa Billard, Alicia Parmovsky in 5th place. We saw had that moment through the first corner. Then Bruce Lloyd, as it stands, Alba Larson, not been feeling too well over the course of this weekend, but currently that 8th place would put her on pole for the reverse grid race.
Yeah, so good place to be for the reverse grid race. And actually, we just touched upon the onboard with Rachel Robertson getting that track limit penalty and having no laps on the board. And actually, during free practice, she was the worst driver in terms of running wide on the exits of the corner. So I'm sure that's something that the teams will have had a discussion with her about, and just pulled up exactly where it is, where the majority of the penalties are coming in, which is turn 9 of Cops, which again is to be expected, and that's what we saw happen from her. But she really needs to try and just get a couple of banker laps in now, and then look to push the bits a bit further on the second set of tyres.
See the sticks on the tyres, absolutely fresh as they make their way out into the circuit. Does that play a part on you as a driver mentally? If you know, right, I haven't really got the time on the board here, need to get a move on. Does that then become more pressure play on your mind when you're headed down to Cops, for example?
Yeah, definitely. You start overthinking things, and you start thinking about your braking point and overthinking rather than just driving naturally. And what we try and do as a driver is to get your banker laps in first. So on your first set of tyres, get your banker laps in. Keep a bit of margin on the exit there. And then once you've got that on your second set of tyres, that's when you can try and push the limits a bit more and see if you can get away with it.
We should stress as well, this is the first entry to single-seater racing, to car racing for pretty much most of the field out there. You've got Chiara Batik, for example, who's just 16 years old. So for this, the whole F1 Academy season, wherever they are to finish, is a huge learning progress for them.
Oh, definitely, yes. And what a stage to be learning on, and what a stage to have your first season in cars. And as we mentioned earlier, all the branding, all of the kind of the atmosphere at an F1 weekend, it really does add another element of kind of mental preparation you've got to do. You know, you can't be distracted, or you can't have your focus disrupted by the crowds and by the support, and thinking about that pressure that you put on yourself. But those
I'm gonna have to. Hamilton. Oh, good question. Hamilton, Russell, Kimi.
Championship
Top
to
three.
lay the foundations to move on to have a really successful career.
Yeah, we heard from Megan Bruce, for example, that she was in GP4. Walking into that paddock is going to be completely different, isn't it, to walking into this paddock as well. And she mentioned all the small things, just the sponsorship boards around everything. It's a huge step up, and I'm sure quite an overwhelming experience the first time you've done it. You've raced on Grand Prix weekends. How is it first time?
Interesting.
It's a fantastic experience. You know, it's something special, and to race myself, a British driver, to race on my home circuit on an F1 weekend is something I'll take with me forever. And as we look at Alicia Komorski sat in pit lane there, she's mentioned in an interview that, you know, she used to come to the F1 weekend with her parents and pull up a chair, sit on the other side of the fence and watch the racing. So probably quite a pinch me moment for some of the drivers out on the circuit to have this experience themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Hamilton's got to win this.
And that experience which you won in Zandvoort last year.
Shout out.
Getting the better offer on the podium.
Go Rav. Apologies if I butchered that name. Yeah, shout out.
And no doubt when they are out racing, particularly on Grand Prix Sunday, there's going to be quite the atmosphere around this Silverstone circuit.
Yeah, if you could bottle the feeling you have when you stand on the podium in front of your crowd, you can sell it, you'd be a very, very rich person. It's something incredible. And you know, these drivers, yes, they're at the start of their career, and I'm sure that all of them will have a lot of success to come. And you know, the thing that I would kind of say to them is, you know, don't be so focused on the winning and having that just purely as the only success you have. You know, take the small wins, take the learning that you have, because ultimately the journey and the racing is part of, you know, you're going to spend a long, long time away from home doing these kind of laps, traveling to different circuits. So make the most of it and enjoy it, and enjoy the people you're working with, enjoy the places you're going to, and you know, just make the most of it, which I know a lot of the girls do, and a lot of the girls are absolutely buzzing to be on the grid.
And the F1 Academy Series organise some fantastic things for them, and the support they get from the F1 team.
Max does a lot of complaining.
It's really good. But China, Canada, we're going to go to Zandvoort.
Max does a lot of complaining. You've got to admit. He does a lot of complaining. So, I mean, you get given an F1 car, you drive it as quick as you can, and if it's not the quickest car, then don't complain about it. Like, really? That like.
Issues is we have a lot of runoff on some of the corners. So actually, you can be brave and know you kind of got a bit of a get out of jail free card at the other end. But when you're on a street circuit, there's no room for error. You know, you make a mistake and you're in the wall, as we saw a few of them kiss the wall of champions last time in Canada. So, you know, F1 Academy really are arming these drivers with a toolbox to tackle most corners and most circuits around the world.
Jeez.
And we've seen the success of it already, Dottie and Pan, continuing to work with the Mercedes team and do driving
Russell.
with them.
Alright. Russell. I'm going to go Russell.
And Ali Trellick recently going on to win in GP3. She's putting a very good campaign together there as well. So we've seen already the success stories of it. Many more to come, no doubt.
Being it's a Ferrari, everybody would want to drive in a. Everybody and anyone would want to drive in a Ferrari F1 car.
About her when she was entering the paddock for the first time last season as a wildcard and doing pretty well so far, people.
Yeah, a good step forwards from free practice, and you know, she's able to move even further up. I think she'll be chuffed to bits with that. Her best qualifying so far has been 6th in China in the opening race. So yeah, 4th place is definitely going in the right direction.
Yeah, Lisa Billard just making her way now on to the Wellington Straight and down towards Brooklands and Luffield. Time to beat 202.7. Many drivers going through that process of an outlap, but Lisa Billard is flat out and currently 2/10 to the good on Nina Gay.
Yeah, straight out the box, and you can see the confidence, how she's throwing the car around. You know, you've got that first run under your belt with the new tyres, so you know what the car feels like in these conditions. When you bolt the next set of tyres on, you've got a bank up. You've got the kind of foundation that now you can build on. You know that you left a little bit of margin here, a little bit of margin there, and that's exactly what Lisa Billard's doing.
Yeah, no, you can take the risk. Yes, that looked on the limit through there. Susie Wolf watching on, the managing director of F1 Academy, and what a championship she has put together. What a foundation. It isn't just this championship. F1 Academy are helping karting series and giving drivers opportunities to come and audition for this championship. They are putting a great paddock together as well. Lisa Billard, this is looking a really good time for her.
Yeah, 2 purple sectors for the moment as she comes into Stowe Corner. Hopefully she keeps it all under wraps, just slightly wide of the red and white curve there, but should about get away with it. Bit of a lock at the rear of the car on the entry. Hopefully doesn't push her too wide, and she's able to keep it again between the lines as she comes through on the start-finish line. And provisional pole for her, 6/10 down the road.
Wow, 202.1, and you can just see how much risk she was taking coming down through Bell and Club there. That was absolutely superb. But are we going to see record today? Are we going to see the youngest pole sitter and a first wildcard ever in the top 3 positions? Chiara Batty coming down through the Bell now. This is looking really good.
Yeah, purple sector in sector 2 here. She comes through the final corner of Club across the line. And where does it jump her to? Again, provisional pole position. And in the 201's first driver to get in the 201s today.
Wow, Chiara Batty currently on provisional pole. 201, as you said, 0.9. Let's see who else is going quicker out there. We've got personal best sectors coming in from Robertson, from Felbermeyer. Ella Lloyd have done 2 personal best sectors, not quite up there with Chiara Batty, but look at that gap between first and third. She can easily jump into the top 3 here if she keeps this pace up.
Yeah, and Lloyd didn't actually feature all that much in the first session this morning, in the practice this morning. So again, looking much more racy in qualifying, potentially some setup changes made to the car as we see her come into Vale, front right, nibbling a bit of curve, pedal to the metal, crossing through the start-finish line, 8th at the moment, jumps up to 3rd position.
Felbermeyer beating her immediately behind for Audi, and that looks like Natalia Granada jumping up into the top 8 positions, crucially Parmovsky in danger of dropping out of it. Needs to improve. Currently 6 P8 as Emma Stevens drops her out of it now. So the young Emma Stevens fresh out of karting. 8th place for her in her home race. But Alicia Parmovsky looks to be on a flying lap.
Yeah, I think she's struggling for the moment. She was second quickest in practice this morning, but again complained of kind of re-stability or lack of in the car. So it's a big gap that she's got to try and find. As she'll come through to complete sector 1 shortly. We'll see how she is pace-wise. But yeah, green for the moment and a much better first sector than what she's previously done.
Still a long way to go. A 2-minute lap in total, not even halfway through yet. As she makes her way now towards Woodcote. Let's go further around the circuit and see what Nina Gable can do. She was once sitting at the top of the times. She's been demoted to 7th with Megan Bruce going to P6. And in the final corner now onto the Hamilton straight we go. And P3, that is for the Audi driver in the background. Ferrari's Albert Larson goes up to P6. Let's go back on board with Alicia Parmovsky.
As she comes into the famous Maggots Beckett section, a couple of cars in front of her that potentially could create a bit of dirty air and some instability in the car. Able to keep it all together, and she should duck in behind with a bit of slipstreaming, opting to pull to the right hand side and dodge that as they nicely get out of the way for her. She'll be thinking now all about the braking zone into Stowe. So you nailed the brakes, late apex on the right hand side, let the car flow out wide, keeping within track limits, and down into Vale, going over that crest. Stand on the brakes, get the front of the car hooked over the curb, stay on the right, give a lift of throttle, plant it, and come round flood corner and across the line. Currently 11, where she jump.
Second, much better.
Second place for Alicia Parmovsky, not as quick as Chiara Batti. Once again, 2 tenths clear from the field. Now Eleanor jumped onto P5. Granada lost her time due to track limits, and you guessed it, it was at turn 9. So she's now down at the back of the field, and the pressure is on her. Rachel Robertson, one of many drivers, calling this one a home race. And through club now she comes. Let's see where she can go. Needs to just get that one place to be within the crucial top 8. And she gains 5. Wow, what a time that is.
Brilliant, yeah. So that's what happens when you're able to keep it on the track there. So she learned her lesson from that first set of tyres. And yeah, brilliant trip up the grid for Robertson, who ride on board with Alicia Parmovsky.
Oh, big snap. Oh,
snap. Way up the curve. Into Koch. Very good to keep that front going round, but that's going to cost her massively.
Was that within track limits, I wonder? Race control playing catch up slightly. There's Megan Bruce, that certainly was over, and she went 4 wheels over the white line. It looked on the limit from Alicia Parmovsky. The corner that has always historically been one of the most challenging for the drivers here. Rafaela Pereira down at 50 needs to improve. Consistency.
Typical YouTube, playing like 10 ads per stream. They should make the one sponsored by F1 no ad breaks.
Yeah, some good pace from Ferreira in the last round at Canada. So 15th place is not where she's going to want to be at the moment. So only 3 minutes left on the timing. So she'll be trying all she can. You can see ducking in behind for slipstream to try and jump up the grid.
Yeah, Ella Lloyd is trying not to give her a toe there. And moving around on the straight right. This is Alicia Parmovsky. Second place. Can she go one better? Chiara Batti, the young 16-year-old wildcard, leading the way, but British Championship leader Alicia Parmovsky, 3 poles in a row this season in the 3 sessions that we've had. Out of the final corner, and still good enough for second place. No improvement that time from Alicia Parmovsky. Has 2.5 tenths to find. Only 2 more laps to do.
Yeah, no one seems to have an answer for fatigue at the moment, which is really impressive from the wildcard driver. And yeah, Parmovsky is thereabouts, but I think it's sector 2 where she ends up losing a little bit of time, where fatigue seems particularly strong. So again, riding on board with Alicia, we can see that she was battling the rear stability in the car, almost kind of run-crossing it around the corners and backing it into the corners. So potentially this could be slightly a bit of overdriving. Every Brit wants to be on pole position at their home race, and it's so easy to start overdriving the car. So potentially a bit of a pull down lap and then another push to finish.
She'll get one more go at it. Megan Bruce out of the top 8 in 10th place so far. Let's see what she can do through the final corner now. Talked about really looking forward to this race. An 8th place, just about good enough, but she'll get time for one more lap. We are not far away from seeing the checkered flag. Wes Scott, who had a time deleted, has gone up to 10th place. Jay Jackett really fighting with
No way Rookie's about to get popped.
Ella Lloyd, we now got on board.
So 6th
No
place
way.
for Ella Lloyd at the moment. Again, good progress from the previous session.
No way
this morning.
Rookie's
You
about to
see
get
her
popped.
fighting the car, launching over the curves.
No
Nice and
freaking
smooth
way.
on the steering wheel there, trying not to destabilise the car too much. She'll actually have a really good toe down at the hanger straight here, so potentially the next sector, if she keeps it neat and tight, could be a good sector in the green.
Yellow flag out, but it's through the first section, so this should be okay for these drivers who you're looking at. Chiara Batty has come into the pit lane. Talk about confidence from the young wildcard driver. Ella Lloyd now coming through Bell Club. 6th place for her, the McLaren driver so far. Alicia Palmowski's got one more go at this as Ella Lloyd goes P1.
Yeah, so it's all eyes on Alicia Palmowski now for this final lap on the track. Just a tenth almost to try and take pole position from Fatigue. So we see a massive snap of oversteer from Ella Lloyd there. So yeah, work is there for Palmowski to do.
Ella Stevens just missing out on the top 8 there, but that's a really good drive regardless to go P9. Now we had a spin from Costerman, the Lego Racing back driver. Let's see what happens.
Oh, big spin.
Just a case of, was that just too much speed going in, or just missing the line?
It just looked like a little bit of overconfidence on carrying the speed into the corner, and I don't know whether she had a couple of stabs at the steering wheel there as well. Which, at the corner, if you go into there and you're not smooth on the wheel, it will absolutely bite you, which is what we've seen happen there. Thankfully, no damage done, but yeah, that's going to be a bit of a scary moment.
Another yellow flag.
The yellow flag out in section 8 as well. I think Alicia Palmowski made it through there, but she's 4 tenths down through the first sector. Through Maggots and Beckett's, she comes now. Let's see what she can do through the second as Ava Dobson makes a late improvement and goes up to 4th. Likewise, Nina Gateman up to P6. There's still time out there to be found. It's over to these drivers now to do.
Yeah, and the Felbermeyer quite far down actually, considering she is currently 4th in the championship. She's not going to be happy with this, but if she does finish in 8th place, at least it will give her then the pole position for the reverse grid. As we see Fatigue out of the car, feeling happy with her performance.
Oh my God, she actually got pole.
Well, Chiara Batty, the young 16-year-old, has broken 2 records. She's become the first wildcard driver to finish in the top 3 of the qualifying session, let alone take
You're
pole.
kidding me.
And she's become the first wildcard driver to take pole, and the youngest as well, just 16 years old, racing in the British F4 Championship this season. She's a Red Bull junior, and you can see why. She is incredibly talented. First ever F1 Academy, straight to the top. How about that?
What an absolutely impressive debut in F1 Academy. You know, she will not want any more than this. What a fantastic debut. And, you know, she came in this week and I saw in an interview, you know, just wanted to make sure she improved her this session.
Hello, Mad Max. Hello, Harrison.
She's got nothing to improve on. She's P1 in practice and P1 in qualifying.
Well, there you go. Fatigue. P1 in free practice. Yes. Yesterday. And now P1 in qualifying. So going back to back, Chiara Batty looking very, very, very strong and continuing possibly that dominance coming into race number 1. Now my schedule will look a little bit different. The Formula Regional European Championship certified by the FIA will be live tomorrow from 9 o'clock, and it'll be F1 qualifying, F1 Academy, Formula Regional European Championship, and the E4 Championship from 2 o'clock tomorrow. But, of course, up next, it is the main event, the F1 Sprint. Can Lewis Hamilton go back to back? That is the big question. Can he go from pole to lights out and the flag at the end? That would be a huge, huge goal for himself. But I'm a Max fan, so I want to see him win, but Hammer time reactivated. Indeed, indeed. This is going to be good. The main event, F1. It's next, and it's going to be live right here. Do not miss any of the action. I'll be streaming it live in just under 25 minutes time for the build-up from Sky Sports F1. And it should be very good indeed. But the main event, F1 Sprint. It's next.